It's Storybook Brawl. This should be at the start of the video. What is up, everybody? I'm No Lex Given, and today I'm going to be talking about Fairy Tale Fables. We're going to watch some Hearthstone Battlegrounds while I go through some talking points, some things to discuss. I might talk about the game as well, but probably not. I'll probably just have enough to say just with talking about Fairy Tale Fables. So what is Fairy Tale Fables? Well, Fairy Tale Fables, as they're putting it, is a game made by someone who loved Storybook Brawl. It's Storybook Brawl. I can understand them not wanting to say that. It's Storybook Brawl. If you liked Storybook Brawl, you're gonna like Fairy Tale Fables. At least I think. Full disclosure, brought this up the other day as well. I have not yet played Fairy Tale Fables, and part of the reason for that is I want to show you guys my authentic first real reaction to playing the game for the first time. And that's gonna happen. You're gonna see that tomorrow. I'm gonna film that right after I film this content here. And there is a sort of event going on that starts tomorrow as well that could be pretty important for you to know about if you want to play Fairy Tale Fables yourself. So starting, I shouldn't say tomorrow, I should say 12:20 at 8 a.m. EST. That is when the open beta launch event starts. I think that's what they're calling it, if not something pretty similar. But the open beta officially starts on the 23rd of December, coming up in just a few days. So sort of to lead up to that, on December 20th, players are going to be allowed to stream the event, and we'll have codes and things that we can give out. So you can follow me along on twitch.tv/NoLexGiven. I'm also going to be uploading some content to YouTube in the time. I will probably have ways to receive codes through YouTube comments. If not, I will also leave a link to their Discord in the video description for tomorrow's video. Not for today's video, but starting with tomorrow's video, I believe I'll be able to leave a link to a Discord in the video description. And at that point, you guys can start trying to play the game yourself. Now, if you're already a part of my Discord, there's a chance you already have a code, so there's a plug for that as well. Some of the just people that I messaged on, I just posted on my own personal Discord, hey, anybody interested in trying out the beta of this game? Which is basically just Storybook Brawl. By the way, shout out to Duke Silver. Don't want to forget to say that either. Duke Silver was the one that messaged me about the game and sent me a code for the closed beta. And that was really nice of him. Duke Silver, a fellow Storybook Brawl YouTube content creator. If you're not already following him, I'm sure he's also going to be streaming this game and making some sweet YouTube content for Fairy Tale Fables. And what else do I have to say? So, the game has been in closed beta for a little bit now. I haven't messed around with it, like I said, because I wanted to experience it for the first time live with y'all. I just think that that's fun. It kind of, I feel like in a way, it kind of keeps me honest, and in a way it kind of keeps me degenerate. I've brought this up a lot before. I like to create content for games that I play because it makes me feel like I'm being productive while I'm playing video games, so it's like kind of a little cheat there for me, but also it is just like, then I get to capture everything if anything fun happens. And up until this point, there's been an embargo on Fairy Tale Fables content produced or streamed or otherwise while they're in this closed beta period and just sort of refining the game. I know a little bit about what's going on. I'll talk more about that in tomorrow's video. So we're allowed to start streaming, again, I'm saying tomorrow, but December 20th at 8 a.m. EST. Right when that happens, I'm going to have a video go live on my very first raw reactions to my very first game. A little bit later in the day, I'm going to go live with a stream with playing some Fairy Tale Fables, and I'll continue to do that throughout the week leading up to, on December 23rd, a tournament. Now, I might not be in this tournament. I believe the tournament is on December 23rd, though. Let me see if I can check here. So I will just run through these details. But yeah, December 23rd at 1 p.m. EST, there is going to be a tournament where I believe you are going to be able to participate in that event if you hit top 50 on the leaderboard, on the ladder, on the global ladder in this open beta launch event. And there's players that have been playing, there's probably more than 50 players that have been playing this game for a few months now, 1 or 3 months now at this point. And those players are definitely going to have an advantage over the people just being exposed to the game, but that's fine. There will be more tournaments. There will be more exciting ways to play in the future. I wouldn't stress about that too much. Know that there's like probably over 50 players that have already played the game. The number I'm looking at right here is in the 70s, and I'm not sure if that includes offline people. It doesn't. There's another 200 offline people. So there's about 250 people vying for 50 slots for a tournament that is going to happen on the 23rd. Now, I do want to clarify that tournament, or I should say this, on the 20th, when we are allowed to start streaming, when that embargo gets lifted, there is going to be a full rating reset. So that will put everybody on somewhat of an even playing field. By the way, this card's awesome. This pirate here. This is double speed, so I can't actually tell what the name of it is. And this APM Pirates is going to look crazy in double speed too, by the way. But yeah, I'm not blocking the screen too much, am I? I want to keep Lily on the screen here, but maybe I will just switch to this smaller camera, and that way you can see how much gold I have and stuff. Because I got a bunch of different econ going on here, so that's going to get pretty interesting. Stabilizing here at 3 life. We'll see what I can do, but this part of the video isn't really super important. I didn't mention this. I'm going to take a look at the Steam page at the end of this video as well and see kind of what information we can glean from that. And I think I can kind of talk honestly about what I see there that won't be leaking anything because I haven't played the game. I do know a few things, and like I said, I'll get in more to the details in tomorrow's video, on the 20th at 8 a.m. And there you can see, and I'm sure I will have a way to allow comments for a giveaway, to start trying to give away codes, because I want to get you in there if you guys want to play, if you're interested in the tournament, or just want to check out the game at the very least. But the beta will be opening up to everyone on the 23rd with that tournament to kind of broadcast it. So it's really just a way to drum up some excitement for the game. But I definitely encourage you to, what's it called? Spellbound Seafarer? Yeah, this card's real cool. We get the triple of it here. Seems pretty busted. I think that this card is going to wind up getting nerfed. Because there's just a lot of value to be had. It's interesting, they like added spells, but they added so many different ways to get spells for free. So we'll see how that works. I'm curious how, I really have no clue what any of the spells are in Fairy Tale Fables. And I did see there are some, I'm not going to leak anything. There's going to be some things that you'll recognize. That's all I'm going to say. There's going to be some things that you'll recognize. There's going to be some brand new things. But I think the actual structure of the game is like really, really familiar, to the point where, yeah, they're just going to go with, they're very big fans of Storybook Brawl, and you'll see exactly what that means probably by the end of this video. I gotta show this girl. I gotta show this girl here. Look at her. Look at her. If you hear the snoring, that's where that's coming from. Her eyes are open. I'm not sure if she's sleeping or what. So the ranks are going to reset. We'll have 3 days. I'm going to give it my best shot. I'm going to stream the 20th, 21st, and 22nd. And then, I mean, I guess I'll stream on the 23rd if I'm, like, part of the tournament. Maybe I'll see if, like, hey, you want some other... I should reach out, and I should say, like, hey, I'm going to try to, like, get in this thing, but, like, get me in the booth. Let's see what we can do. I'll, help pinch hit, but honestly, I probably wouldn't be the best choice for that because I don't really know what's going on in the game yet, but I'm sure by, 3 days of playing it, and I'm sure I'm going to turn off the stream and play it even more, because that's what I always did with Storybook Brawl as well. But that's the plan, is to stream all 3 of those days. Probably, I should say this too, my plan is like 12:30 to 4:30 EST every day. And I think that that's a schedule that I can probably stick to, and I'm even going to try to stick to it. I mean, I don't got too much going on next week. We'll see what happens like after the holidays into the new year. But I think that's a schedule that I could probably commit to going forward. And one thing that I'm like kind of interested in, so my personal plan, just like with my life, kind of got a little bit derailed, and health things happened, if you remember that whole thing. At some point I do want to get back into schooling. I was going to school for psychology. I also, there's part of me, and I want to give streaming like an honest shot, I guess. Like, I feel like I've done cool stuff with the YouTube, and I'm happy where that has grown to. But there's only so much organic growth that you can get just from creating YouTube content in the way that I've been doing. In some ways, I don't put enough effort in, and in some ways I put too much effort in, just like in the wrong ways. Like, I put out a video every day. For the most part, like, I don't even like tag my videos, and I don't do all the work that you're supposed to do, and I hate making thumbnails for videos. This game kind of felt Storybook Brawly, by the way, because the new spell that allows you to change your hero power, I think is really cool in Battlegrounds here. What I was thinking, and I mean, part of me is like, okay, if I set some concrete goals, that could be good. And I think it could encourage people to support me as well. Like, if I say, I'm going to stream 4 hours every day, and for the month of January, I want to earn X amount of money. I'd like to, I think I was breaking it down. If you get like if you're doing 4 hours a day, 5 days a week, that's 20 hours a week times 4, so that's 80 hours. So if you make like $1,000 in the time, it's not like that much. It's like $12 an hour or something, right? So that's like kind of just, these are just thoughts on my mind that like, okay, how much can I put into it, that like, how much time can I invest into this, and what can I expect out of it? And then if I like hit that goal, maybe I could buy a new computer setup. This computer is maybe even, I don't know, it's pushing on 10 years old at this point. It's probably like 7 or so. I don't remember exactly when I got it. Whenever I started up this channel, you can check how old the channel is, probably pretty easy. And I've had the computer for about that long. But if I wanted to take streaming seriously, specifically, I do have technical difficulties sometimes. The camera goes out. It's cooperating for us today. Thank you, camera. But those are things that I'd probably want to alleviate and figure out. And if I wanted to take streaming seriously, that's going to cost money. It's going to cost time. But like, I kind of want to try it. Fairy Tale Fables, I'm not sure if that's like the horse that I want to put all my eggs in that basket. And to be honest, there's probably going to be, not this week, I don't think, but in the future, there's definitely going to be some Hearthstone Battlegrounds, just as like part of the stream, some Marvel Snap. I think that is, I'm doing myself a disservice by not streaming the game, because it's been difficult for me to like make content around it, because it's so fast paced, how much it changes with the featured locations and the new card releases once a week and the OTAs and all of that stuff. I think it very much would reward me for live streaming, and then just like, sure, if I want to clip some stuff, that's a YouTube video the next day. So that's kind of where I'm at. I've recently been, for the past year, basically, all of my commentary has been live commentary, except for this video. This isn't really commentary. I'm just talking, and I'm live right here, right now, coming up with this at the top of my head. But all of my content's been live commentary for the most part, so why am I not streaming? Now, I do kind of know that I have an answer for that. It's more flexible with my schedule to just be able to like record one or two things, to be able to take breaks where I need to tend to Lily, to tend to my own health, which is something that I also want to be mindful of as we move forward. That was a huge hit there, by the way. I'm not sure if I could have won this combat, spoilers, if that had gone a little bit differently, but unfortunately we are going to get second place here, and I feel like I've got more to say, so I guess I'm gonna play another video. There was another clip like at the start of one. We'll jump to like right here. This is probably fine. I had Mercules, and I thought this was kind of cheeky. I was pumping Mercules with itself by summoning it out of Baskill. So Baskill like guaranteed hit Mercules, and then I was pumping it up. And then meanwhile, I also have this other stuff here. Should have cast that spell before I played the Busker, but then I do think I just wind up tripling the Mercules here. Corrupted Myrmidon could be a fine card to start pumping off the Mercules, but that Seafarer is also a pretty sweet one, so I'll pick that one up instead. And then that's right. Okay, yeah. So this is where it actually gets a little bit silly. This is where it's cool, because I can just keep this Mercules in my hand and it will still always pump itself, because it will summon off the Baskill and then it will be the only card in my hand, which is like a cheeky way to scale Mercules that you don't normally get to do. So yeah, I've been doing a lot of live content anyways. I think that a 4-hour block could be pushing it sometimes. That's gonna be flexible. I know I'm gonna be playing Fairy Tale Fables a lot as soon as I can get my hands on it. So that's why I think during this first week, committing to 4 hours every day should be pretty easy. Maybe at some point I scale it back a little bit, and maybe it's 1:30 to 4:30. And that just gives me a little bit more time to like complete my morning routine. It gives me a pay grade raise from $12 an hour to $15 an hour, if we're going by that math, right? Or no, it'd be like up to 16, right? 75, or yeah, you know what I meant, 25% increase, 75% of the total time streamed. I know that streaming can be a lot of work too, and it's high energy. So we'll see. We'll see how it evolves. I don't want to push off returning to school forever, and I want to make sure I'm taking care of everything else that's going on in my life. But all of this just to say, I'm excited for Storybook Brawl. Oh my gosh, I'm excited for Fairy Tale Fables. Did I just say story? It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. I play Hearthstone Battlegrounds, and half the time if you like see me really thinking, it's because I'm trying to remember to say Hearthstone Battlegrounds instead of Storybook Brawl. I've said it so many times. I love the game, and I'm hoping that I can start to love Fairy Tale Fables as well. I think let's take a look at Fairy Tale Fables now. This game doesn't get that much more exciting. I mean, it gets cool. Let's jump ahead just a little bit. I'll show you what happens at the end of the game, because I do when do I find this coral? This coral was like a really nice hit, I remember. What did it come off of? I just want to see that, really. Oh, I'm just level 6. Oh, I get a Chef's Choice. I knew it came off something weird. Chef's Choice gives me a coral, and I have By the Holy Light in my hand already, so I can immediately give it a Divine Shield, and then I find a Bream counter as well. And then I also have a Sacred Gift. So I've got 2 ways to give Coral a Divine Shield, and by the end of this game, as I'll jump ahead a little bit more, oops, I jumped ahead too far. I've got 2 corals with Divine Shields. Well, let's go back just a second so y'all can see. There we go. 2 corals with Divine Shields, and that was enough to earn me the win as well. So, really sweet one, and it's not really important. I think we're going to take a small look at Fairy Tale Fables. I wasn't even sure if I was allowed to do this, but I asked the devs and they said, okay, you can look at the Steam page for Fairy Tale Fables because this is public. You guys can look at this right now yourselves. So it's not like a huge leak or anything like that. This is all public things that you can see. And I really haven't looked into this too much. Now, I do want to give a big caveat that actually I need to give 2 big caveats because there's something that I haven't talked about yet with this game that's going to be important to know in just a moment. But before we get to that, one important thing to know is that the stuff that you're seeing here, a lot of it they've told me is already changed. A lot of it has been updated since you're seeing it. That's probably going to do a lot to be like graphically and then just balance-wise. But I think in terms of mechanically, a lot of these things are still the same. I'm not totally sure on that, but it's still Storybook Brawl in the end. Now, the other caveat that I do need to say, the game in its current iteration uses AI-generated artwork as filler. And that is really, really important, I feel, to get ahead of, especially with crypto destroying Storybook Brawl. The plan for this is to replace all AI artwork with real artwork as far as the information that I have been relayed. I can understand the difficulties of, you know, this is like a one-person studio. Leonardo Wang here, basically creating the game by himself. I think that's all I have to say on it for now. I understand if that makes people not interested in playing it, and honestly, I feel like I did a bad job by bringing this up 22 minutes into the video. I really did mean to bring that up earlier, so I apologize. But I don't want to like take too much wind out of the sails of the excitement for it. That's something that I saw and I was like, okay, interesting. But here's the important part right here. December 23rd, it is going to release with some AI art in the game. I don't know what portion of it is AI and what portion of it is real. I imagine it's 100% AI, but that the plan is with funding, with revenue, to actually hire real artists, and it's a tricky thing, right? Because Storybook Brawl, when that released, was all placeholder art, which someone did create and someone made money for, and some of that placeholder artwork was actually really fun and really good. I've seen a lot of games released, like I think people were showing off like Artifact released with like MS Paint, but not even MS Paint drawings, just like monocolor, just drawing with the pencil tool MS Paint. Not that like other MS Paint, you know what I mean when people say MS Paint, but yeah, it was all like pencil tool, and there's a desire to look more professional. And I think that AI art is an interesting tool for this specific purpose. There are things in the game that are monetized. I believe it's pretty similar to Storybook Brawl in terms of how it's monetized, which is to say it's not heavily monetized, but you can still support the developers, and we'll see, I guess. That's an ongoing conversation that I did want to get ahead of. So apologies for not bringing that up sooner, but hopefully the fact that I was able to stop down and talk about it before getting into the actual gameplay here let you know how I feel about it. I do think that it is a serious thing. Well, let's take a look at Fairy Tale Fables. Let's get a little less serious for a second. Okay, so I'm gonna pop in some headphones here because there is like a little trailer. There is a trailer here.
Welcome to Fairy Tale Fables. Choose your hero. Welcome to Fairy Tale.
I wanna go back. Maybe I will keep myself on the screen here. This video is gonna be a lot longer than I thought it was gonna be. I want to like dissect a little bit about what we're seeing as it's going on. So, choose your hero. Start of the game. I don't know what this represents. 30. We can see different types of currency, crowns for winning. Don't know what these other things are. I do know what this is. So, I guess you have 30 life, and then this is telling you +0, +3, +0, +1. That's pretty straightforward. This is not pretty straightforward. This is also not exactly straightforward, and those are things that I do know what they mean, but I think I shouldn't talk about them yet. But just to say there's like a little bit of extra stuff going on. You might be able to pick up context clues based off some other things that you see just in this video or on this page. I'll let you fill in the blanks. Sphinx, when you have exactly 1 mana, and it's blue? What could that mean? I wonder. Okay. And 0 gold. Your spells cost 0 gold. Ooh, okay. A new take on free spells from the Sphinx. Free is broken. Seems sweet. Prevent your death 2 times. Is this a thing? Was this a thing in Storybook Brawl? It's been so long. This is Ice Block, double Ice Block from Hearthstone Battlegrounds. Could you do this in Storybook Brawl? Oh, that's so sad that I don't even remember. I don't think it was something though. Surely I'd remember this, right? It feels like it would have been. Yeah. It must have been. Was it like a consumable treasure? No, I don't think it was in the game. I don't know. You have to let me know. I really can't remember. I'll have to move myself so that you can see this guy here. Okay, great. And I'll move if there's anything good up in the corner. You start with +1 gold and a piggy bank. Each round keep leftover gold and gain 1 interest for every 5 leftover. Piggy bank sounds like it's something pretty familiar, and starting with +1 gold seems good. The pig entrepreneur, and then Daedalus. You have +1 treasure slot forever. 4 treasure slots. That is huge. And forever probably means for as long as you're Daedalus. The first time you combine... Oh no! The first time you combine a character... Oh, no. The first time you combine a character. Which means your first triple. I thought that meant something different for a second. Your first triple, you get to choose an additional treasure. Okay. Totally new hero. 4 treasure slots is going to open up some new possibilities that even if the rest of this game was just Storybook Brawl, we've already seen some cool things, right? Here's something though else. Lobby title, normal chaos. Description, normal rules with all characters. That is pretty big, even though that is saying absolutely nothing. It's saying a lot. It means that certain lobbies, either now or in the future, the intention is to weave in, like, Battlegrounds is so much more dynamic with the different minion types that you see. There's, I believe, 10 minion types in Hearthstone Battlegrounds, and you only see 5 of those different types any given game. So it looks like they're going to mess around with some of that stuff, or potentially like anomalies. If this game brings anomalies to Storybook Brawl, whoo, baby. Anomalies was the previous season of Hearthstone Battlegrounds, and it was so fun because every game you had these crazy, weird rules that you had to play around with. I would love Storybook Brawl with anomalies. Okay, I'm getting excited right now. And this is frame 1 of the video here. We chose our hero. There's some stuff going on here. I think this is one of the most important things to see, because it really tells us it's Storybook Brawl. This should be at the start of the video. Now it's at the start of the video, if I remember to edit that. This is Storybook Brawl. There's some weird stuff going on. I'm not going to get into too much of what this is, because I know what some of this means, but I don't know what all of it means. But I will tell you this. There's a shop. There's things that cost 2. Looking like early on in the game, because we've got nothing. There's 7 slots, and then you've got a hand. 4 slots in front, 3 slots behind. Seems pretty familiar. 3 treasure slots. Here you go. You're allowed to play again. It's been 8 months, but we are finally allowed to play again. And it looks like it's going to be a lot of what we are used to. So, good boy, give my stats multiplied by 1 to 3 of your good characters. So they kind of scaled good boy back a little bit. And my stats multiplied by 1 is like, I guess, hinting at the fact that, I don't know. I think the wording there isn't maybe necessarily the best, but when like you triple it or something, that can obviously change. So there we go. Good boys in the game. They made sure to show that
strategically.
I'm not going to pause and go through like every single thing that like we see here. I just kind of want to get like a general idea, and I don't want to make this an hour long. It's going to be an hour long video. Who cares? But I don't want to look over every single thing, because a lot of this stuff has probably changed. That's what I was talking about when I was saying like the balance of it all has probably changed, even though the mechanics, this, that's probably the same. Good Boy's exact stats, his artwork, I'm sure that's all changed a little bit. Sell for 1, I'm sure that's still probably the same though. So, and then looks like potentially capping out at 12 gold. So some econ that we're going to be pretty familiar with if we are familiar with Storybook Brawl. So that's the exciting part. And picked up another 6 cost character. I feel like I could go back and look. I'm gonna go out on a limb, and I think I might even know this. I think that the parrot feels like that's what you would make Echowood, maybe. If you wanted to put Echowood back in the game, that makes sense for Echowood to become a parrot.
To combine them and
character
get a treasure.
Is okay. These I'll look at. A character that literally echoes what you say, or an animal that literally echoes what you say. So we've got a treasure here, and I don't know what tier this is or anything like that. But your characters have +1, +2. It's like, okay, maybe we're looking at a tier 2 or tier 3 treasure. Your shop contains an extra character of your level. Yeah, these are tier 2 for sure. And then Baby Mimic, double, that's really good. Maybe these are higher tier. Mimic Chest, double your last treasure's effect. So this is one thing that we are going to see some design space with. The positioning of treasures. You can move your treasures around, and there might be certain things if you have your treasures in certain orders. A little bit backpack battlesy. At some point, I gotta play backpack battles as well. That'll be something that I'm sure I will find the time to play if I'm committing more time to gaming while streaming and stuff like that. At some point, I think there'll be... My intention is like probably to make this my main game, but that doesn't mean it's going to be what I play 24/7. Unless that's what people want and what I want. We'll see. We'll see how that all goes. So Mimic
Choose
Jest.
wisely.
We gotta get through. We gotta get through this video. Alright. Take the baby Mimic as our first treasure. There we go. Some cute little animations.
Boards.
So, this is a bot. I did notice during that first screenshot there were a few other players up at the top of the screen. I believe... Well, I'll just say that from this... Actually, I don't want to say anything. I don't know if the pairing and lobbies sort of thing is the same as Storybook Brawl or not. There's a lot of reasons to go asynchronous. And if I get to play Storybook Brawl, but no, you know what? Because it said at the start that this is like a normal chaos lobby. The only way that you could have a specific lobby is that at the very least you're pairing people within that same lobby. But maybe there could be support for like asynchronous modes or something in the future. I know that there's a lot of reasons to do that. I appreciate if it does look like, at least in this build of the game, there is a traditional lobby structure. So we'll see how much of that holds. Just playing up against a bot here.
Play now and good luck.
Thank you, thank you. So yeah, I did see some things, and I'll talk about that more tomorrow after the launch. I felt like I did see some things that kind of implied there might be other... I don't want to say anything because then if I'm like I don't want it to sound like I'm like promising something that isn't in the game. It could have just been like a closed beta specific thing because there were much less players and less availability to get 8 people together for a game. But there's some other stuff to take a look at here. I don't think I can full screen this. I could probably zoom in. This is like, okay, yeah, 2 new heroes. Oh, okay. I attack at the start of each fight. I attack. Okay, maybe that's more hints towards what some of these other things could mean. That's fine to say. The gold cost of the items in your shop is divided by 2, rounded up. Items in your shop, you say. So we've got characters. We've got diamonds, squares, and circles. So maybe there's more to buy than just characters and spells. And we'll leave it at there for now. Pick a treasure. We saw this one in the trailer already, and then I don't know quite what I'm looking at here. Here's a bunch more stuff. And okay, more treasures. After 1 round, transform into a random level 7. We've seen that. Aura, if you have at most 2 characters of the same level on your starting board, your characters have plus 14, plus 12. So that is that's basically saying you're allowed to have like 2 5s, 2 6s, 2 4s, and a 3. I think. It might mean you can have 2 6s and then a 5, 4, 3, 2. And 2 6s. No, that wouldn't be enough. So you can have 2 6s, 2 5s, 2 4s, and a 3. I think. Fate's Scissors. Assumedly, these are tier 6 treasures. I feel like this was like called the Ark or something. But it must have been a little bit different. Don't remember. Destroy the first enemy that attacks and kills one of your characters. Okay, well, bam. Takes it out. Combat-related treasures are really interesting. One thing that I've been kind of curious about, because Hearthstone Battlegrounds has almost nothing in the way of combat-related spells. So I'm curious if we'll see that. There's 3 different things in the shop. There's spells we just heard about. I want to say items. What did Tinkerbell talk about? Yeah, items. Tink was saying. So yeah, there could be a few different things, a few different like classifications of different things that you could buy that have different impacts, and then looks like, whoa. Okay. I don't know if the game is launching with this. But the fact that they are willing to put that on the Steam page is crazy. Custom lobbies with custom rule sets. That's awesome. That's really cool. Let's take a look at what else they have here for us. And
welcome to Fairy Tale Fables.
Thank you. It looks like there's some language support already. I know that I have some German audience, and I believe there's some other people, some other fancy people watching this. See all 8 supported languages. Okay, so there's more than that. I'd be surprised if there's not. I'm not sure if this is where this is gonna take me. Let's click it. Okay, cool. So Polish, Portuguese, and Japanese as well. No Korean, no Spanish. Y'all can maybe get by though. But that's just crazy that it's launching with that. To be able to have that support already and show that they care about that support. I'm sure that they would have other languages if they had more bilingual support for people that are interested in like translating and stuff. So if that is you, if you're watching this, I assume you at least speak English, and if you speak another language that isn't posted here, you can probably get on the Discord and try to help get the game in your language as well. You can read this stuff if you want to. The video's already long enough, right? And we know this. This is just telling you, hey, it's Storybook Brawl, dummy. Get in and play. December 23rd, 4 days. However, you can play it even sooner if you want to by watching my videos, getting in my Discord, watching my Twitch stream. That's going to be the main way to get codes, and I might even be able to give away like 1 or 2 on Twitter or something. I just feel like it'd be a good idea to like get people retweeting it if they want a code, just so that way more people find out about the game. So even if you're not super interested in a code, hop onto Twitter, retweet it, or if you like, I don't know, maybe don't re-download Twitter just to do this. I'm trying to delete it. I'll do one last tweet and then I'm out. Man. I'm excited to play Fairy Tale Fables. Hopefully you guys are excited to play it and watch me create fun content. There was just something so perfect for me with Storybook Brawl that really fell into this thing that allowed me to have fun with math and probabilities and gaming, but also in a way that like somehow felt really creative, and not just because we're talking about stories and things, but just like the endless combinations of things that you could build in the game. I basically did everything that I wanted to do in Storybook Brawl. There were maybe there was like 1 or 2 things left on my bucket list by the end of it. So I'm excited to explore some new things in this game. Speaking of which, like at some point I do have more Storybook Brawl content to put out. It feels a little bit silly to not have released it before this game comes out. But at some point, I feel like maybe y'all would be interested in seeing that. Some of like my last streams playing the game. I think my very last game with Storybook Brawl was like also really fun. And I never put it on the channel because once the game wasn't out, I was like, all right, I'm just taking a break from posting content for it. And kind of just for like my own mental, I think it would have been fun. I think that some people at least still would have watched it. But yeah, that's it. I'll end it for real here now. 45 minutes. It was a good one. It was a fun video here. And I'm excited to make a whole bunch more fun videos. That's it for me, for real. Thank you guys very much for watching, and hopefully you guys have fun watching Fairy Tale Fables. I'm No Lex Given. Peace.